What if a regular, everyday English lesson wasn't just about grammar or storytelling, but was actually designed to shape a student's entire outlook on life? It sounds pretty wild, right? Well, today, we're going to dig into a 6th grade curriculum that does exactly that. It takes a literary tool you probably remember, point of view, and turns it into a pretty profound lesson on morality. Let's break down how it all works.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? That wish to just, for a moment, truly get what someone else is thinking and feeling. Well, that very human desire is the key that unlocks this entire lesson. And it all kicks off with a literary concept that I'm sure will ring a bell from your school days.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Before we can get to the really big philosophical ideas, we've got to get on the same page with the fundamentals. The lesson starts out by laying down the essential building blocks for understanding how any story is told.
First up, the big one, point of view, or POV for short. You can think of this as the camera lens for the story. It's simply the technical position from which everything is being told. But here's where this curriculum makes a really crucial distinction. It separates point of view from perspective. Perspective, in this case, is all about a character's internal world, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. So one is the camera angle, the other is what's actually going on inside someone's head. It's a small difference, but it's key.
So, of course, you've got your classic first-person POV. This is where you are locked right inside one character's head, seeing only what they see, hearing only what they hear. You know, the "I did this" and "we went there" kind of narration.
And then there's third person, where the narrator is more of an outside observer, looking in. Now this can be limited, where they're just following one character, or it can be omniscient, which is that all-knowing, godlike view where we get to peek into everyone's mind. And trust me, the choice between these totally changes the game for how we experience a story.
Okay, so once all those terms are defined, the lesson shifts gears from theory to practice. And it does this with a really simple, super relatable scenario. This is where we start to see how these literary tools are being used to build a bigger lesson on empathy.
The scene is set in a classroom. We're introduced to our main character, a student named Micah, who is about to give a presentation. And yeah, I think we can all remember that heart-pounding feeling.
And wow, this slide just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you have Micah's internal world, pure panic, sweating hands, the fear of being laughed at. But then, look at the teacher's perspective. It's a completely different story. It's one of pride, of support, of seeing his hard work. It's the exact same moment, but two totally different realities.
And this is the exact question the lesson wants students to ask, because suddenly, when we get to see things from the teacher's point of view, our whole understanding of Micah shifts, doesn't it? He's not just a bundle of nerves anymore. He's a hardworking kid who has earned his teacher's pride. Our understanding gets deeper, it gets more compassionate, we get a more complete picture of the truth.
Okay, and right here, this is the pivot point. This is where the lesson takes this literary idea, understanding different perspectives, and deliberately connects it to something much, much bigger, a moral and spiritual principle.
You see, the goal here isn't just about becoming a better reader or a better writer. The curriculum is explicitly using this skill as a kind of bridge, connecting the act of seeing more in a story to a very specific spiritual worldview.
And this verse is presented as the core idea, the anchor for the whole lesson. The argument being made is pretty clear. Just like we learned to look past Micah's nervous appearance and see the teacher's proud perspective, there's an even deeper, divine perspective that goes beyond the surface and sees right to the heart. And there it is. This is the ultimate goal, what the curriculum calls its truth to remember. The literary exercise of analyzing point of view is completely reframed. It becomes a spiritual practice, a way to build empathy and ultimately to love other people better.
But, a lesson like this doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's part of a much bigger educational framework. So you have to ask, what's the philosophy behind this kind of teaching? What's the why?
Well, this whole approach comes from a curriculum called the HeroesMart Academy Godly Learner Series. And it has a very clear vision for what education is supposed to be. It's not just about learning facts and figures, it's about building a certain kind of character.
This slide really breaks down their core philosophy into 3 steps. First, the foundational idea is that any real education has to be intertwined with biblical morality. From there, the logic is that knowledge without that moral compass isn't just missing something, it can actually be dangerous. And the final step, the intended outcome, is that by blending a spiritual mindset into learning, you find peace.
And all of this brings us to one huge central question. This lesson is a really powerful case study in an educational model that doesn't just teach how to analyze something, but explicitly teaches what to see when you do. It fuses an academic skill with a moral worldview. And it leaves us with a bigger question to think about, really for any kind of education. Where do you draw the line between teaching someone critical thinking and shaping what they believe?